people suggesting that there is a war of words between the Nairobi governor and His Excellency Johnson Sakaja, and also a battle of words between the Deputy President and him. And I want to say and make it very, very clear here. Many of you have seen the efforts of the Deputy President in reconciling Meru. You have seen him have a sitting with even the governor of Meru, Her Excellency Bishop Kawera Mwangaza. It is in the same, same spirit that these other statements have been made, and we must admit here that while the Deputy President is not the supervisor of counties, he is indeed the link between county governments and the national government. And this is a job that has been given to him by His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto. And therefore, when the Deputy President engages with us at county level, it is important that we understand that he is just doing his job, and that we do not need to create a mountain out of a molehill. As far as I'm concerned, I have had a talk with Governor Johnson Sakaja, who is, whatever he is doing in Nairobi is well meant. Whatever the Deputy President said was just merely some advice. And therefore, I would want to urge all of us who are getting involved in this kind of thing. The Kenya Kwanza is a steady ship under the stewardship and the captainship of Dr. William Samoei Ruto. We are sailing well. Of course, there are storms in the sea once in a while, but it is important that we realize that we should not really just send the wrong messages. We are moving together as Kenya Kwanza. We are solidly behind the President, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, and his deputy, and we even as governors are working very, very closely together. Today, as you are well aware, he is in Homa Bay, the President, and he is being hosted by Her Excellency Gladys Wanga, and he will be tomorrow somewhere else. He'll be in Siaya, where he'll be welcomed and hosted by His Excellency the Governor of Siaya, James Orengo. In other words, we are saying, I would want Kenyans to know there is no war, there are no battles. We are merely just moving on as government. That is the statement I would want to make.
Thank you very much. We'll agree with you, that was quite refreshing. Tukizingatia katiba yetu, tutaishi na amani, na kama wananchi wa Kenya tutasonga mbele. Thank you very much, TSC Choir. TSC stands for born in Tanzania. They grew up in Kenya.
Thank you very much. National Assembly and the Attorney General of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable Justin Muturi, the Chair IEBC, Wafula Chebukati, Chair Council of Governors, Madam Her Excellency Waiguru, and the protocol observed. Before I get into the speech of the Speaker of the Senate who I represent here, I want to recognize the presence of the Chair of the Senate of the Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs and Human Rights, Chair Wakili Sigei. Yes. And thank you IBC, because I can see you know the ropes. If the chair who oversights you is here, it means the success in relationship with the parliament. So thank you very much. And Chairman, whatever this IBC will require from you for the next 5 years, because you are the one to give the money, please do so that they can consecutive. The first two as a member of National Assembly in the year 2013, 2017, where I worked under my senior speaker, Justin Muturi. And the third elections was in August this year, where I ran as the Senator for Meru. So I want to thank you because you have given me employment for now 15 years consecutively. So I want to get to the remarks of the Right Honorable Amason Kingi, Jaffa Kingi, who I represent in this function, by saying that since our nation and the state came into being nearly 6 decades ago, we have exercised our sovereignty as a people through elections. The elections have been held periodically in line with the provisions of the Constitution and other applicable laws of our land. In Articles 1 to 4, the Constitution proclaims this sovereignty and declares that it can only be exercised in 2 ways: directly or through democratically elected representatives. Elections, therefore, occupy a critical space in our collective endeavor to govern ourselves. And given that elections have a direct influence on our very existence as a democratic nation, it follows logically that the very institution charged with the delivering elections stands out as a key pillar of our nationhood. Ladies and gentlemen, Chapter 7 of the Constitution creates the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IBC, and hands it 87, under this chapter, delve into the electoral system and process. 88 to 90 outline the role of the IBC in ensuring success of these two mechanisms. Looked at broadly, Chapter 7 of the Constitution, therefore, provides us with a roadmap on preparation for elections, conduct of the same, and handling of electoral disputes that may consequently ensue. Distinguished guests, on August 9, 2022, Kenyans in exercise of their constitutional and democratic rights voted for their leaders at all levels of representation as outlined in the Constitution. A lot of what has flown on the bridge, and as is expected in the aftermath of every general election in our democracy, our country has witnessed major changes. There has been a change of guard in the executive, with a new president and commander-in-chief of the Kenyan Defense Forces coming into office. In our bicameral parliament, comprising the Senate to play in our country. The fact that the transition took place peacefully should be a cause for celebrations by Kenyans, as it signifies that our democracy has come of age. This is where actually we were given 10 out of 10, the Kenyans, by the European Commission. And since also I've told you KBC has conducted elections successfully, I also want that I can give IBC a 10 plus in the elections that were conducted. As we gather here today, 5 months down the line, we have every reason to commend IBC for living up to its constitutional mandate and managing the elections to the satisfaction of a majority of Kenyans. We must, however, be alive to the fact that quite a number of elective positions across the country, we still have election petitions underway in the judiciary. Our collective hope that these petitions will be concluded expeditiously, judiciously, and to the satisfaction of all the parties involved to enable us to move forward together as one. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me now to relate what I have all along been saying with the reason we are assembled here today. Article 84H of the Constitution obligates the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission to facilitate observation, monitoring, and evaluation of elections. Post-election evaluation is an integral component of an electoral cycle and a structured way to evaluate the exercise and propose recommendations. This is why the post-election evaluation is considered as the best global practice in election management. In the Kenyan context, the post-election evaluation enables all the stakeholders who are hand in the conduct of the elections to carry out other evaluation of all aspects of the polls. This way, are we able to determine whether the elections made the election prescribed by our constitution and made the test of democracy. Today's unveiling of the post-election evaluation report is therefore a momentous occasion for all stakeholders and Kenyans at large to get a honest assessment of how the August 9th, 2022 elections were undertaken. We expect the report to highlight the success stories that pertain to the elections and also expose any gaps and loopholes that could have been detected. The vital elections will be fine-tuned and addressed to ensure that identified shortfalls, whether structural, administrative, personnel-related, technical or technological, do not materialize and encumber other elections going forward. Ladies and gentlemen, in the 4th Senate, and by extension the entire 13th Parliament, our main interest in the post-election evaluation goes as far as any of the recommendations it generates, which require delays to necessary legislative action. If any gaps noted and it is determined it can be rectified through new laws or amendments, the legislature is on standby to kickstart the process of enacting the laws on which to anchor the required changes. And I can confirm, or you can attest to this, that the chair is here. I think he wants to pick these issues even between bringing the report to the Senate. I think he wants to sneak them immediately to the Senate so that we can make amendments where necessary. Similarly, should not begin the lack of funds impacting negatively on execution of any aspect of the elections, then it is the duty of Parliament, upon request, to approve increase of budgetary allocation to the IBC for the necessary intervention. And I will match this to the CEO upon request. Parliament will not give you money until you request and you convince Parliament that you need more resources. So I think you have understood the upon. It also goes without saying that as one of the Chapter 15 institutions, IBC needs to be insulated against any interference or attempts of the same by any other organs of state or individuals. These provisions and independent offices must be protected at all costs as they are pillars of democracy and democratic governance in our country. They are vested with the authority to protect our sovereignty as a people, secure observance by all state organs and democratic values and principles, and promote constitutionalism. As the legislature, we remain hawk-eyed to detect any such attempts and nip them in the bud. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, I want to state that as Parliament, we are directly impacted by elections, being the destination for leaders elected as senators, members of Parliament, MCAs, eminent representatives, and all of us. Politicians, depending on their vision, always have an eye on the next election, either as potential candidates or stakeholders with vested political interests. This makes the recommendations contain the report of interest to us. In general, the other stakeholders are carrying a plan in looking forward to the implementation of post-election evaluation Justice and Legal Affairs Committee has finalized the IBC amendments bill. And on Thursday this week, we have been called from our recess on our holiday to come back so that we can prosecute that bill on Thursday, the 19th of this week. This bill will give the process on how the new commissioners will be recruited. So, mnaona sisi tuko kazi hata wakati wa likizo. Mr. Chairman, I would thank you for the service that you render to this country. I want you to hear this, Mr. Chairman. I want to thank you from the Senate for the work that you have rendered to this country for the years that you have served at the MDC. And that is also, I really want to congratulate you for the award that has been given by the head of state after recognizing your handwork, elder of the Golden Heart, EGH. From the EGH, now it is your fault to go to the CGH. The president cannot give you up easily. So wherever you go, because I know yourself and your other commissioners, the two commissioners, what are the two commissioners who have worked successfully with you? I know you translate to better offices, and may God bless you in whatever else you will be doing for this good republic. Asanteni sana na Mungu awabariki. Nikimaliza niseme hongera sana kwa kwaya zote mbili, ile kwaya ya Bomas na kwaya pia ya TAC. Mmefanya kazi nzuri, na ndaweka an amendment kwa sheria zetu za communications so that before news tunaimbia wimbo. Those patriotic songs, I remember the era ya Nyayo. We need to get those patriotic songs back to our system. Asanteni sana, Mungu awabariki.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. A better hand of applause. Thank you. Thank you so much, Kadhure Murungi, MGH, Deputy Speaker of the Senate House. Allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome Mr. Wafula Chebukati. You are all aware that the launch of this post-election evaluation report for the 9th August 2022 marks the end of the tenure of Mr. Wafula Chebukati as chairman of NEWSLIFE. Let us be upstanding to welcome him to give his last remarks to the final stakeholders forum as the chairman of NEWSLIFE. Let's clap for him.
Yeah, please.